You're listening to the Medic Materials Podcast, hosted by Mike Turek, Emily Yates, Kelsey Coons, and Gerard Cuomo. Each month, we discuss EMS news, medical science, and review actual EMS calls, bringing many educational opportunities to the listener. Portions of the calls have been altered to protect the privacy and identity of all involved.
Hello and welcome, everyone. It is Friday. It's, I believe, August. Let's check in on what these guys are talking about. What you guys talking about?
Humming.
Oh,
Humming?
Hummers. No.
Hummers.
Hummers.
You know, I can't, it sucks because I can't hear you guys when I mute you. So I have no idea what I'm coming into. And like every single week when we do this, I try and tell you like, hey, we got 10 seconds, clean it up, stop talking. And no one ever sees me. So
And then you just click back in and all you hear is, hell yeah, I suck toes.
Exactly. Or worse.
Green fungus on them bitches.
Or so much worse. But thank you again for tuning in. It is the Medic Materials Podcast. Mr. Maha, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How everybody doing tonight?
The Maha's got the point tonight. I am relinquishing command to the Maha for, I believe, what? This is the second time?
Wow.
It hasn't been often. What's up, bud?
He's done a couple.
My little one saying goodnight. Gerardo, how are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
So
getting through
getting through
the school, the new school stuff.
So I was gonna ask before the show, and then I forgot. Are we allowed to mention the new education?
Oh yeah, it's not top secret. Like my MRI, which I still haven't been able to get from my fucking hospital. But I digress. Yeah,
right? Yeah, who needs that?
Right. It's classified. It's G14. But yes, no, there's no classification on my information.
No classification, identification?
No classification. You can say whatever you want.
No, I mean, it's your story to tell. It's not me. I'm not going to spill the beans.
I'm going back to school.
There we go. And he said it. There you go. Who even cares what it's for?
Is your dean's name Dean Martin by chance?
Dude, believe me, if I could donate a building right now and make it all go away, that'd be great. You know? Yeah, I don't think people understand the actual amounts that would be involved with that, but so I've embarked. This week was the week number 1. I'm going for my master's degree in. It's no longer unmanned. It is now uncrewed aerial systems and operations. So it's going to basically mean dealing with drones and anything that's flying in the air with no pilot on board. So I got in the master's program, and I got accepted, and that's what I just started this week.
Okay, so you the last you and I spoke, we're thinking what, 2 years and ish you're done school, right?
Yeah, about that.
I think that gives us plenty of time to somehow come up with a service, a drone medic material offshoot.
I was thinking about just drone EMS.
That might be it. Maybe it's medic
when
materials drone services. Boom.
When they call for tooth pain, half of us are sitting in our bunk rooms playing Xbox anyway. Just flip the switch on their controller over to control the drone, fly it over to the address, pop it in the window, and go, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, right.
No, you don't need an ambulance.
Sign this. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Dude, that's the future of telehealth right there. That is the future of telehealth.
There you go. And then flip the switch and you're back to freaking Call of Duty.
We have ibuprofen. Call it a night.
Yeah, you can just have it hanging in a little sack like a nut sack underneath it.
Oh, I
they
love
got,
it.
They got those nut sacks for like
Right,
the,
like truck
car,
nuts
the
on
truck,
the-
the
yeah.
truck nuts. Just have it on the bottom of your
Drum nuts.
That's freaking awesome. I think it would be hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So
I would do it.
absolutely.
If I can invent that shit and make that shit happen to keep my friends from having to go on bullshit calls, I will do it.
Right? I think
Yeah.
it's something that we should look into. Maybe there's
Although-
the future growth of the company.
I would definitely be one of the first guys to be like, "What you want?
Right?
Call me for what? Get the fuck out of here!"
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Has a little flip down screen and they just see your angry face.
What?
Oh,
Here,
man.
take one of these and go away.
I think
Like RoboCop, you just see this part of the head.
All you see is this. What do you want?
Right. How can I help you?
Oh my god, it'd be so freaking classic. Love
They're
it.
like, no, I'm good.
Right?
bad.
You scare
How
them
are you?
off. Oh man.
Call me at 4 a.m. How the fuck you think I am? You call me for a stub toe. How you think I am?
Exactly,
Hey,
right? That 3 o'clock toe pain, right? We shove the tooth or
Right.
the freaking toe right back in their mouth. Right.
And for
boom.
the super whackers, we can even put a fucking like siren on it with lights and shit.
Oh, dude.
Q on there.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, we flew lights and sirens to the house.
Could you imagine Justin with his pager drone?
Oh my god! Although
Following him around everywhere?
Although not to give him a chubby or anything, but like one of the things I am learning is like they're really starting to use these a lot in firefighting. So,
Well, I mean, I've been, you know me in live PD. I
Yeah.
watch it every week.
Oh, yeah.
But lots of PD departments are now
Mhm.
using them. They put infrared on them, and they
Oh, yeah.
they literally, like, if there's a suspect hiding in like the woods or something, they're flying drones around looking for
Yeah.
them.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
they're
not just the
getting-
helicopter anymore.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah. In fact, the operator might actually be on the helicopter, just sitting there with his little fucking PlayStation sticks in the back, like they use to control a submarine.
right.
And only now you're controlling a drone or two. And but a lot of them actually are autonomous, so you can literally have one operator and have multiple systems, and he'll just like pre-program where they want them to search, and they'll just go off and search, and they'll just get all the little feeds back
Yep.
with the IR and all that good stuff. And you say, hey, look, there's somebody hiding in a bush in the dark.
It's
Go get him, fur missile.
Oh, gotta love it. So let me get into the rig check here, and then I will turn it over to Mr. Maha. So, guys, this is our 70th 70 free episode of the Medic Materials podcast.
Oh, okay. I thought first thing I thought you were saying this is his 70th birthday. My bad.
No, I mean, it might be.
I'm old, but I'm not that old.
Right? But it's our 70th free episode. But guys, did you know that there are 20 additional episodes of this show?
I did not.
Right on
Tell us
Patreon?
more.
Yeah, right on Patreon. Right?
What?
Really?
There are 22 episodes sitting for your pleasure on Patreon right now. They're
That would have been
exclusive.
a
How do
perfect
we get
spot.
them?
What?
Well, that would have been the perfect spot for a Foster. Really?
Really? Oh, it would be.
Yes.
But-
Tell us where to get them.
Yeah, you should go to Patreon. $5 a month.
Ooh.
Literally, guys, the worst of the most outrageous calls that we do. Emulsion blender calls. Giant
no,
dildo
that
calls.
one don't ever listen to. Never
right.
ever listen to that one. But the dildo one
Gerard's.
is worth $5 a month just to listen to that once a month and go back to it.
Gerard's oil truck call. Bear calls that you
that's a good
guys
one.
missed.
Oh, that was a Patreon. I forgot about that
The
one.
Phil Foundation's dining room table
No,
calls.
never listened to that one either.
And a lot more unbelievable stories that we put solely on Patreon. If you want, again, $5 a month gets you unfettered access. It also gets you a bunch of other stuff on Patreon.
How do I get fettered access?
I don't know. You moved to Pennsylvania? So use the link in the description below or go to patreon.com/medicmaterials And something
I'm
new,
horrible.
something fairly new that we don't do very often, but there are some upcoming meet and greets that I need to tell you guys about. So myself and or others of the show are going to be around New York State in the coming months. Come see us Friday, September 22nd. We're going to be at the Mercy Flight Central's Fall Education Day. That's being held at the Vernon Downs Casino Hotel in Vernon, New York.
Ooh.
I am also going to be there at I should say, Friday and Saturday, October 6th and 7th. I'm going to be at the Concepts in Trauma Conference at Tioga Downs Casino Resort. Oh, shut up. I don't want to ding myself. And that's in Nichols, New York. And then Friday to Sunday, October 22nd or 20th to 22nd, we're going to be at Vital Signs at the On Center in Syracuse, New York.
Damn, look at you.
I know. So we're going to be all over the conference scene in the next 2 months. So again, come out, see us, attend the conference. Again, I'm speaking at the Concepts in Trauma conference on the 6th and 7th of October. But we're also planning a really, we are in the beginning stages of planning for a possible live podcast in a venue somewhere in New York State. And
very cool.
I need your guys' help in planning that, seeing how many people would be interested in going. So there is a link.
Better yet, put a poll up. Who would be interested in going to either New York or North Carolina?
That's true. I mean, we could do that too. Maybe New York first, and then North
Carolina.
Carolina
I was going to say,
second.
if the cheap motherfuckers would crack their wallets open and get that $5 Patreon, because you're going to miss that $5. That helps pay for taking the show on the road. So if you want to see it in North Carolina, throw some money.
And I'll tell you honestly, there are people.
For the price of a cup of coffee, you can sponsor this poor child. I mean, no. Wrong commercial.
Let's put it this way:
Starbucks a day. There you go.
There were people that when they saw the poll go up, they were like, "Oh man, oh stop it, you fucker."
You said it.
I
didn't
know.
say it.
I sorry. This is why the show is, dude. So again, something popped into my head. But again, people have been saying hey, let's just put it this way. All right. If we could take this show world tour, US tour, and visit all the states, there are people out there that totally would. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
Come out and support us in almost every single state. So we're going to start with New York, see how it goes. So the more support we get in New York,
except Hawaii.
Yeah, we don't want to go to Hawaii. That's true. But guys, let me blow your minds with this. So a couple weeks ago, we announced that in the rig check that we were number 7 on iHeartRadio.
Yes.
I looked.
7.
Yeah, I looked 2 days ago. We are now number trace.
Ooh.
So, yeah. Don't know how that's ever freaking happening. I don't want to hear it, Jesse. We're running on EMT money, not that mad medic paycheck. Right. And that's why I have to marry a nurse who makes triple what I do. Right. Yep. I'm swimming in the cash right now.
Oh man, I'll be making it rain change.
Oh man.
Strippers don't like it when you do that, but that's all I got.
So, Mr. Maha, take it away today.
All right. So today we're starting off in a small urban type area, served by a fire first responder paid fire service. They're contracted out to a ambulance service. They run a basic ALS crew, your basic paramagician, and your basic EMT, and they have a second EMT crew. It's just basics, 2 basics in the ambulance.
But
Also,
basically, it's mostly basics.
Mostly basics.
Basically, it's mostly basics. Absolutely, yes.
Out of that same base of operations, you'll get some transport medics in and out throughout the day, responding to places. So here goes your
Doing things.
Doing things.
Do they really do things?
They make it look good.
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I've often heard that being a transport medic makes you a smarter street medic, but I won't go there.
Hey, there's
Probably
those.
does.
Yep.
So your hospitals and areas, you have a small access, critical access hospital about 10 minutes away. You have a regional PCI stroke center roughly 25 minutes away. You have a trauma center, what they say, about 45 minutes. Level 1 trauma center, 45 minutes away by ground.
Is it just trauma, or it's got the whole shebang and bang?
It's the whole shebang.
Okay.
That's that.
All the bells and whistles.
That is a nice scattering of hospitals right in that, within an hour transport.
Yeah, it's almost as if they decided to place them when they were playing cricket one night. Just like, hey, look at that! I closed out my threes. There's your hospital.
All right. So here's your call for you. Ready?
Here we go.
So the area is having a small little festival of the local businesses and arts, and it's like a little carnival thing for your local businesses to celebrate. Hey, we're so great. So they're staging an ambulance and the fire on the outskirts in case anything happens. And you got your PD there to keep the crowd at bay. And somebody comes up to the ambulance and says, "Hey, somebody's passed out over there. I don't know if they're breathing or not." So
well, why don't you go and find out and let me know?
I'll send my drone.
So, in all their wisdom, the fire department is a basic fire department. This basics on the basic truck. And they got the little first responder, bag. They run over and the BLS ambulance.
They got a bat utility belt.
Yep.
Full of stuff.
Of course they do.
Belt.
Nice.
They have to.
And the standby ambulance is the basic crew because that's how you roll.
I mean, it makes sense.
Right. It's funny. I tell Tammy all the time, like, please don't wear the fucking bat utility belt when you go to work, honey. Don't be that EMT.
You gotta wear the whacker belt. It just makes more sense.
I would pay to see Tammy in a whacker belt.
Oh my god.
Like that would be the picture
I'm not gonna lie,
of the year.
She's got stuff in every pocket. Like legit, like there is stuff in every pocket.
Is it?
He's like Douglas. It's like Douglas. Oh, that's right. That's what it's reminding me of. Yes, she's a Douglas EMT.
It's just like, there you go.
Well, that's just it. No, that's a beautiful thing. She is a Douglas EMT, so she is really turning into a really good EMT.
I need a start kit. There you go.
Yeah.
Pen. There you go.
Boom, done right there in the pocket.
I need a Jaws of Life. Hold on, I got that in my back pocket.
I need a fucking granola bar before I kill somebody. Boom. Hey, look at that. There's a granola bar. I'm not joking. It's in her lower left leg pocket.
You never know when that BG's gonna hit.
Nope. And she carries my knife in one of her other pockets just in case any motherfuckers out there try something.
Absolutely.
If you got that Puerto Rican streak or something going, just stick you. Yeah.
We cut you so bad. You don't even know
bad.
we cut you so bad.
I'm so bad.
So bad.
All right, sorry.
Bush, Allison Bush. Okay,
the Bush.
So yeah, here you are. You got somebody says, "Hey, you got this person down. Don't know if they're breathing or not." What are you thinking so far? That's what all the details you have right now.
There's a person down and they're unconfirmed breathing.
So
I don't know anything more than that.
At a festival.
Right. Where there's
with
could be
alcohol being served.
Yep.
I would assume.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Like this isn't like the Special Olympics festival or anything like that, right?
Because Gerard always has to speak first, and I very rarely get the opportunity to talk about topics. I'm gonna take this one first. So I think where my brain goes always with festivals is drugs, alcohol, number one, trauma second.
I would throw dehydration in there.
It depends on the festival. Yeah.
If it's like a daytime summer thing, it's dehydration, gets stuck right in there somewhere.
Absolutely, right? Like if you're sitting there at a rock festival or whatever, like, yeah, you know that there's been 8 bands on and these people have been drinking, partying hard and never left the pit. You know that, oh, look, someone passed out. All right, their BG might be 8.
And that was during Dave Matthews.
Yeah, like there's circumstantial reasons. But yeah, I think always when I'm doing festival, work, which bless her soul, Kelsey's actually working a festival right now as we record. So hopefully all that works out well for her. But,
yeah, good luck. Have fun.
But yeah, I think dehydration, trauma, some sort of drug or alcohol are my 3 go-tos to rule out first.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely go with that. I mean, with what we've got right now, we don't really have much to tell, but I mean, yeah, I mean, if you want hit the chat real quick and see if anybody else has any ideas, because I mean, the whole gambit's out there. It's like, hypoglycemia, something metabolic, heat stroke if it's daytime, or heat exhaustion, some shit,
Yeah. So we got a couple things on what people what treatments they're looking at. Chris throws out OD. WW2 Girl throws out, hey, the first thing they're going to do is check for any like medical tags, medical bracelets, stuff like that. That's a really good freaking thought.
Nice.
ETOH, heat, blood glucose, OD. Yeah, I think all of that is really good to start thinking about in this type of situation.
So BLS crew gets on the scene. They find a late 50s, early 60s female on the ground. She's definitely unresponsive to deep, painful stimuli. Respirations are shallow, about 25 a minute. The patient is very, very, very diaphoretic and very ashen. And the pulse is very weak, barely palpable.
Me no likey.
Right? I don't like where this is going already.
That's when I go, oh, look at the time. I got a thing.
Where's the drone? Where's the drone? Just, clip a little rig to the drone, helicopter that thing right to the ER.
Let me get that drone.
I was just about to ask you, are they having like helicopter rides at this festival by any chance?
Right?
Nope. Just be like, here, take this, fly to a big building that way.
Yeah, I'm with Gerard. I don't like any of that.
So the EMTs get down, start doing EMT stuff. We get some vital signs on this patient. First set of vital signs.
Any bystanders? Like anything? Know what the fuck is going on?
So, like I say, the first EMT starts taking vital signs, and EMT is getting information. So the EMT asks a bystander comes out as a friend, and the friend says, "Yeah, the person just fell down. I was with them. She fell down." And I think she has some seizures. She takes medications, I think, for the seizures, but I'm not absolutely sure. I don't know what it's called. So that's what we know so far.
Okay, so that's good. Do we know about any allergies, anything like that?
Nope,
are they that good of a friend, or they're just a friend?
They're a friend. They came with them to the festival.
Okay.
And I know she takes medications for it. I'm not sure what it's called, but I think she takes medications for seizures.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to just guarantee this is a seizure, but I don't like the color.
So our first set of vital signs when we started off this.
Hold on. Somebody dropped a good one.
Okay. Jesse threw out from Facebook, has PD Narcaned her yet?
Nice. And how many doses?
I couldn't let that one go. That was great.
And how many milligrams are we up to, Stevie?
Oh,
16.
No.
So do you want the sphincter to start going? Yeah.
I really hate when this happens.
So are we just going to scoop and throw in the ambulance, which is what I would like to do, and get out of the fucking crowd? Maybe get in some cooler environment. I don't know what the temperature's like, but I'm assuming this is Probably.
It was a summer type festival, but it was
That's not figuring. Sound festivals are summertime, so.
It was like
Yeah, I think I would.
70s.
I'd move the show, get the show back to somewhere away from people, because I'm probably going to start removing things.
Giggity.
But anyway.
So our first set of vital signs. You ready, kids?
Mm-hmm.
Blood pressure 79/45.
Wait, they took this with the monitor. I take it, correct?
They took it manually.
How'd they get 79?
Exactly. Pulse was 56.
So I got 8
What
motherfucking
the crap
apples.
is going on?
They took 5.
Pulse is 56.
Wow.
SpO2 right now is 93. Respiration is 25.
Not so bad.
Okay.
Blood pressure, me no likey. Heart rate, nah, not
So now
good.
you got a couple of EMTs that are going, so they start screaming for ALS.
Of course they do.
Of course.
We have to scream for ALS.
Before they screamed, did they move to an ambulance? Or?
Oh, they're still playing on the scene right now with the
with everyone looking over with their camera phones, and that's fantastic.
Fire scrambling around trying to do what fire does, and the BLS providers are scrambling around and they're still trying to get ALS.
And speaking of which, that plane crash. So not to digress or go off on a weird fucking tangent, but I'm going to do it anyway. Tammy had a plane crash this week at work, and she's showing me pictures because, of course, my former self, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, so who took the engine cowling off? Because it's sitting in a field and the top part of the engine cowling is removed and set next to the aircraft. So when an airplane crashes, basically, you're not supposed to touch a fucking thing. All right? If it's something where people have walked away, the pilot has switched everything off. You ain't got to worry about it. It ain't going to blow up. If it hasn't, then that means it's a big ball of aluminum and everybody's dead and you still don't have anything to worry about. Or it's in pieces everywhere and you got nothing to worry about. Fire took it upon themselves to remove the engine cowling of the aircraft that had just crashed, which the NTSB would really like to get their hands on and see as it is, because God forbid, it's a problem on other airplanes that they could, keep from falling out of the sky. So they removed the engine cowling and did what? On an airplane.
Started cutting wires.
They cut the terminals.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why that just popped in my head when we were discussing the the on-scene thing here. Sorry. I took us down a weird fucking path, but I just thought it amused me. I know everybody else was distracted, but it amused me.
So there's a lot of people sitting here wondering what 12 lead says, agreeing that hey, these guys should be loading and going, see you later, goodbye. But I'm assuming that these guys don't have 12 lead capability since they're screaming for a paramagician and they're a BLS unit, correct?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
So they do eventually say, hey, we should probably get this patient, not on the ground and into our ambulance. So they go ahead and get this patient onto a stretcher into the back of the ambulance. The ALS unit that was stationed in that station was on another call and they had gone to, the hospital that was, 25 half hour away. So they're not available. So here you have a bunch of EMTs sitting here.
Okay.
Looking for some ALS.
Okay.
You know what? They should
have. How about stop looking and start going?
Exactly. They should have went to my class where we would have been like, they're 80 minutes away in Gilboa. Go.
BLS with those vital signs in that patient presentation, secure the airway, BLS adjunct, and maintain vitals, oxygenation, and off you go.
Yeah. It's very simple, right? ABCs, you have an unresponsive patient that's ashen in color, so they're not perfusing, so the heart ain't working. something in the cardiovascular system ain't working with vital signs to support that. Bye.
Yeah.
Like, this is not the, you know, A, B, C, D better be get ass moving.
Yeah, I just want to know, how, you know, does anyone know when it happened? You know, how long are we talking about? Was her down? You know, and yeah, as much history as we get, if that's all we can get. Hey, she might have. Okay, great, thank you very much. And
hell, bring the friend with you.
So
I'd rather not.
As reported to me, the downtime was pretty quick. Like, she went down, and they ran through the crowd to where they were staged. We're like, hey, this person like went down. And
Okay,
so it was only a matter of a few minutes.
Right, so we're talking minutes. We're not
Minutes.
talking. Oh, look at that, she's been down for a while.
So luckily, by some grace of EMS gods, a couple of the transport rigs were coming back from their day of transporting everybody, and the one paramagician on that rig said, "Hey, I can go help these guys out." So they got a hold of the BLS rig and said, "I'm on my way down." They were only a few minutes away, and they showed up on the scene of this clusterfuck. So,
well, we're not really at a clusterfuck yet. We're working on it.
Right.
well, it's working. It's working.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen overnight. It's got to, it has to simmer a little bit.
It's got to develop. Exactly.
Yeah,
It's working towards a clusterfuck.
Right. We're on our way.
So, medic gets on the scene, and they got the patient in the back of the ambulance,
Finally.
and they start doing medic-y things. Get a 12
Like what kind of medic-y things?
They start putting a 12 on the patient, and they start having the EMT set up for a line because obviously these pressures are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They say, hey, get me stuff set up, get a 12 lead done.
Nice going for the 12 lead first.
Start setting up, get my blood sugar for me, see what's going on here. Because, the medic reported this patient literally had that gray, nasty, we've all seen that look like just pretty much death. You know what I mean? Like gray, washed out.
Yeah, if they ain't dead already, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Yep. So 12E came back and it was
fucked.
Elevations in 1, AVR, AVL, V1, V2. Depressions in 2, 3, VR, V5, V6. Now, for those of you that don't know, that's some bad squigglies. You're looking at probably some anterior lateral MI going on there. These are bad things. And now he's bradycardic, so there's definitely a perfusion problem going on here as well.
Yeah.
So the medic went ahead and got a large bore going on. This is before he left the scene, so we probably should go to the hospital. But
no, I like this. We're good.
He did get one line in.
I'd rather have the line, make damn sure I got it, and it maybe take a minute.
Right. I mean,
start bouncing down the fucking road and miss.
Right. If you're a good paramedic, you can start a line, start and finish with setup in under 3 minutes. Let's put it this way. The setup has already been done, so you realistically should be able to cut half of that out. So 90 seconds. Right. I'm willing to sacrifice the 90 seconds so that, like Gerard said, I have access for inevitably when this guy codes. Or girl, I should say.
Probably either just happened or we're getting damn close to it.
Exactly.
With that color.
Right.
While we were getting things set up, they did go pop another set of vitals, this time with the monitor because, it's already hooked up and stuff.
Right.
Vital signs. At this point in time, I had a BP reported to me as...
Watch the monitor gives even numbers.
55 over 32.
Oh.
Now, what was that? Hold on. Was that like a 20-point drop?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
A pulse rate of 47.
They're both going down. That's not good.
SpO2 at 94.
Hey.
But this time we have they fired things and had them on 15 liters by non-rebreather. So we got that going on for us.
Okay. Hey, why not?
He's ashy and gray and diaphoretic, so let's put some on him because
whatever.
I'm really hoping this works. I've been trying to figure this out, why all of my, sound effects are not working. So hopefully this one works.
No.
Yes!
No. We're completely fucked. We're completely fucked.
That's where I feel like this is going. Like, we should prepare for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
God.
I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
Medical ahead and said, "Hey, we can probably get rid of the non-rebreather right now, and
All right.
put some end title on them instead with end title."
Yeah, probably be good. Anybody get a BG?
Mr. Maha, you are blowing up the comment section with praise here. I just have to throw this out. We got compliments on medic-y things, EMT things, and fire things.
Yes.
I mean, the best part is we know exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly, right? Yep,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, I love it.
BG. Hold on, let me go through my thing here. BG was 147.
Well, at least they got one.
So medic reports.
Hey, we got two for the rest.
The medic reports while he starts stabbing the guy with the big needle in his arm. The guy looks at it and says, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing to me?" So we start to come alert, and he says, "Hey, dude, you kind of passed out." The lady says, "You kind of passed." The lady says, "You kind of passed out on me there." And
wait, the lady's the patient.
Who's
talking to the patient? The guy, because you're getting your fucking like Italians all fucked up here. You're dropping. It's like you're trying to talk to us like the FBI's listening.
Yeah,
so the guy did the thing and that thing over there and that thing and then the lady said.
You can't let Butch read and talk. It fucks all the works up.
It's my first time.
Like, who's the guy? Who's the guy with the one with the thing? Oh,
the lady wakes up when she gets stabbed with a big needle and says, "What are you doing to me?" And the medic tries to explain to her that you passed out. We're worried about you. You're not looking very well. And she says, "No, I'm fine. I just want to go home." And he tries to explain to her. He says, "No,
music to my ears.
You're not looking great. Your heart's not looking great. I think you might be having a heart attack right now. You made it. Your friend says you're ready to have a seizure." She says, "No, the only thing I have some high blood pressure. I take a pill for it. I don't know the name of it, but I don't have seizures and stuff." And I said, "Well, then you really need to go to the hospital because something is really bad right now."
So, okay, hold on here. The first immediate thought process that I had, not even, hey, this lady is waking up, but we had an unresponsive patient, right? Completely unconscious, unresponsive for at least 10 or 15 minutes?
15 minutes, yeah.
Right? And then she goes and wakes up, but she doesn't complain that there's an NPA in her nose. She doesn't choke or gag on an OPA, which tells me that no one did any airway control on an unresponsive patient.
There you go.
Wow.
Just a non-rebreather.
I was about to say, when you said an NPA, I was like, did they put one in? I don't recall
well, and
that.
that's it. Like, I hoped I didn't miss it. But I was pretty sure I didn't miss that.
How about she fell flat on her face?
Right?
Where's the collar?
Amazing.
Yeah. All right.
And I like that, right? So Yosin says she went from unresponsive to pain stimuli to argumentative ? Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
There's a red flag, right?
Yeah.
So, interesting developments here. Yeah. I'm not liking where this is going. I completely agree with the paramagician that this lady can't just get up and walk away.
Yeah, there's some patients that when they're like, I don't want to go anywhere, I'm like, fuck yeah, baby, here you go, sign it.
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck. This is not one of those people.
Right.
This is one of those people I'm going to be like, yeah, nah. If I don't take you, you're going to die. I will tell them straight up just like that.
Yeah.
If we don't go right now, you are going to die.
That's how it was explained to me that it went down. Like, she just wanted to get back to her friends and drink some more. Apparently, she'd been drinking beer.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's another added layer onto the alteredness, right? So now she's also got alcohol on board. Who knows how much and for how long? Like, what if she smashed her face and now has a giant brain bleed?
Yep.
Like the list of possibilities of bad shit for this lady keep building. And like monitor doesn't look okay. Unresponsiveness and argumentative screams head injury and alcohol. I don't like where any of this is going.
Nope. No, not good.
So what did these
Kudos on the fact
do?
that she was able to regain enough consciousness and start talking with fucking vitals like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So
What's her heart rate now, in the 40s?
She was 47
40s,
the
yeah.
last vital sign, yeah.
Fuck.
So while she's still arguing, the medic went ahead and had his EMTs work on making her a little more naked to make sure that nothing else was, bad anywhere, traumas, things like that, just in case they missed anything while trying to get her out of the crowd.
Fair.
Smart.
And then, did a kind of a neuro check on her to make sure while she was still arguing. Obviously, that's a neuro check. But
Are we moving at any point, or we're still sitting here?
we are working on getting out of here right
Okay.
now in a couple minutes.
Gotcha.
She finally agrees that, she doesn't understand why we're all fussing over her because, I just got drunk and fell down. But,
Nah.
If only it was that simple.
Yeah, the medic explained that, no, all these numbers don't look good. Your heart doesn't look good. You really need to get checked out.
If it was that simple, I'd grab a drink and lay down next to you, but it ain't that good.
Right.
Yeah.
So no obvious signs of trauma were visible with the patient at all. So we said, yep, let's just start going to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Another set of vital signs are going.
Where's the cath center, you said?
We're about 25, 30 minutes away.
To a cath lab.
Cath lab.
Perfect.
There's a PCI.
Beautiful.
That's 25, 30 minutes away. There's a local.
Even with the couple minutes of fucking bullshit, we can still make it within the hour.
Yeah.
And the trauma center is 45 ground, and then there's a local,
Fuck that shit.
Minutes away.
Fuck that shit. We're going for the gusto.
De gusto.
So, the next vital signs check I got, we got a couple 100 liters in right now because he put a big old needle in there.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
We got BP 62/28.
Still,
but hey, we got the systolic up there a little bit.
But we keep losing diastolic.
We got that pulse up to 53 right now. SpO2 is 95. We got a couple liters on with the end tidal.
Is she feeling pain anywhere?
Nope. Reports no chest pain at all. No nausea.
No pain.
No nothing.
Okay.
Wow.
So her only so she's not complaining or describing anything.
Nothing at all. No nausea. No dizziness.
What's her end tidal?
End tidal was 34.
Why is she in this condition? Holy fuck, dude.
That doesn't make right. Like she's not perfusing. But
right,
yet,
she's ashen in color, her BP's in the crapper, her heart rate's in the crapper, but everything else is fucking great.
like
that's when I'm like, you know what?
What?
You keep doing you. I'm gonna have a Diet Coke and I'll see you at the hospital.
And just think about this, right? So remember, like diastolic is measured resting pressure, right? Yeah. So the pressure when her heart is not beating is 28 millimeters of mercury. Like, how can you even perfuse on that?
Right. How do you formulate a word? But so that's the reason I kind of asked the question I asked. If she was feeling pain in any way, anywhere, is because
pressure, right? Yeah. So
and a diastolic figure in that range, I'm starting to think, well, there's no pressure in the pipe while the pump isn't pumping. Where'd the volume go?
Right.
Are we bleeding somewhere? Did we just pop a AAA? Because if she starts saying, well, I've had this little, kind of fucking Terry feeling over here. Well, motherfucker.
But if she's inebriated and intoxicated, is she going to feel pain?
Is she going to feel any of it? Yeah.
Like she could just be like, whatever, as she's leaking out of her belly.
Right. And then the other thing is, what is the blood pressure medication she takes?
Yeah, true.
Did we ever find that out?
Never found. I never
found
that out. So
okay.
All she knows, she takes the blood pressure medication. So
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's a beta blocker, yeah.
That's intriguing. Like none of this makes sense.
I know.
So the medic went ahead and said, "Yep, let's go heading towards that PCI."
We should consider this a free Patreon
Episode.
gift
100% agreed.
to everyone.
Yeah.
Because this is a fucking Patreon episode.
Yeah. This yes, exactly. Because at the end,
Our gift to you.
yeah, because the Maha's smiling right now because he knows at the end this is going to be a UTI.
Right. UTI.
He knows it.
Every time.
Boom.
Every
Done.
time.
We've
Knows,
solved
don't
the
worry about
case.
She was drinking too much fucking Red Bull and rum, and it just fucked up her fucking UI system.
It was the metabolic thing. Don't worry about it. You're
You're
fine.
right.
Right.
Yeah, you're
Right.
fine.
Right.
Oh my good gravy.
Her sodium was off.
Yeah, they're just gonna snake a catheter up there and
So
do the thing.
I have a serious question though. Like, does this paramedic seeing all this, right? Is the paramedic thinking, did you ask the mindset of this medic? Like, are they lost and looking for something that fits what they're seeing? Or are they just going, hey, I saw elevations and some depression, so I'm going to swing this cardiac?
From what I understand, they saw the depressions elevations, so they were thinking cardiac. Obviously with the perfusion issues. So something was definitely broken. They were thinking something was definitely broken with the pump. So
Yeah.
they were
And I don't think they're wrong.
I don't think so. I would have
I'm
treated
just-
this as cardiac as well.
Right.
I mean, it screams cardiac.
It does. Even in a lateral MI, right? You can have perfusion issues. I mean, your whole left circumflex feeds the rear and the whole left side of your heart. I mean, you lose that in a lateral MI and your left ventricle is kaputsko.
No.
So everyone always.
But then we should have some breathing issues.
Free
It's like
Patreons,
nothing's
everybody.
adding
Free
up.
Patreons.
All right.
Oh, yes. The medic said, "Yep, let's go to PCI." He does
Sounds good.
the medic thing and says, "Hey, I'm coming with a STEMI." He sends a strip to the hospital. Says, "Let's go ahead and pop a second line in this patient." Pops that
Good.
second line in for another bag of fluid. Gets some more fluids hanging up there. He did go ahead and do some aspirin just because. Hey, let's do some aspirin. Because-
Okay. I mean, sure. I mean, aspirin ain't gonna kill them unless it's like some ruptured AAA or something.
Well, that's what I'm like, me with the presentation and all that other stuff. Just because she ain't telling me about pain again, she's been drinking. I don't know what she takes at home. I don't know. I know it's like I'm thinking cardiac, but I'm thinking like volume depletion type cardiac. I might have withheld the aspirin, but I wasn't there.
So Chris is throwing in the chat. I would think cardiac also, and for the fact that females can show different symptoms for MIs. I mean, strong thoughts on that one.
Yeah, I mean, this because it is a female, you're gonna suspect, the lack of signs or symptoms that fit the box.
Right.
But the fact is there's no other signs or symptoms other than the loss of consciousness, which could be explained by the hypotension.
Right. Or the
And
bradycardia.
the bradycardia. So it's like, or the inebriation or the seizure. So it's like that part was could be explained by something.
And no history of like
right? Just hypertension.
No,
that's it.
Right. And she there's no like undiagnosed, conversation between her and the cardiologist. Like, oh, hey, you have, a bradycardic arrhythmia like Turek does.
Right.
Like sometimes you're going to be in the 20s.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe if it's some kind of history that isn't diagnosed, there's that. But yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know, and I'm thinking just in my own head that, yeah, she, always females, y'all are fucking weird, and I don't trust any of you when it comes to stuff I see on the monitor. And I'm like, "Are you okay?" And they're like, "Oh, it feels great." I'm like, "You shouldn't." But anybody wants me to like
you fix it,
tell them you love them, you know? But in this particular one, like, yeah, I may, just because it's so funky and weird, and my suspicion always goes to the worst, I might withhold that aspirin on this one.
So the only other major medical that I found that was reported to me is when they found the patient outcome, there was some stuff that came up was years ago, like back in the 80s, this patient had a major trauma happen, and she was like in traction with a major femur fracture. That was the only other major medical problem.
I was waiting for you to say like she lost a quarter of her heart muscle or something.
Right, or she has some funky shit, right?
The only other major history she had. So she was in traction for months because of a major femur reconstruction.
Well, that's it.
That's wild. All right, so
is this reconstructed with pins and stuff like that? Are we talking?
Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah, she was in traction for like a couple.
All right,
months.
All right. So follow me down the.
Oh, geez.
Oh, we should have a tinfoil hat segment. We should have a tinfoil hat segment for this. Ready?
Oh God.
The pins from the accident in 1984 finally fail due to brittle bone,
Congratulations!
Right.
Your tinfoil hat.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Dad.
Because I'm quick.
So like, the pins that were, manufactured by the former Soviet Union and, poor quality that were inserted into her young bones then, are now, showing the signs of age from, depleted, steel, tensile strength due to, Chernobyl and the
osteoporosis.
And the osteoporosis. And that fix has failed, and she is now bleeding out with compartment syndrome in her leg, and we know nothing about it.
That still doesn't explain the bradycardia.
She's volume depleted. We've already passed the point of compensation. She's completely decompensated.
You know what she needs?
That's it. She's completely decompensated with great SpO2 and excellent blood glucose. The end.
The end. There you go. All right. So what actually transpires here?
So I got more happy stuff. So vital signs and stuff. 800 mLs in. They got a BP up to 71/36. The pulse of 52. End titles up to 33. Respirations at 26. 12 lead remains unchanged.
It's literally those only two figures that are fucked. Everything else is normal.
Was there any improvement in skin?
Nope. Still ashen, still diaphoretic the entire time.
Fuck?
Peripheral pulses still strong and intact?
No, the peripheral pulses were weak the whole time from the start.
Okay, weak. I missed that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
So was there any thought process? Okay, I know this medic started 2 lines. They got 2 bags running. Was there thought process hey, we've gotten it up to 70 from 50s with almost a liter? Was there talk of any pressers or?
But so now here's my question. Aside from the skin, and trust me, I know this. The skin is my thing. It tells you more than anything else. But aside from the skin, is there any indication that she is altered in any way, shape, or form, or is not perfusing her freaking noggin?
Unfortunately, with the alcohol on board, hard to tell exactly where.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Her normal mental state is.
Gotcha.
Were you thinking so as soon as you said that, I was like, Gerard's thinking she might just be gray in color.
I was thinking,
her normal
maybe
skin color.
She's just one of those people,
right?
Yeah, those bridge people.
You know those people.
Those crusty.
You know those people.
Yeah, you people.
Use people. Very
you people.
Very interesting. So. Okay, so continue, because as of this point, it seems like they're going to the PCI center. They believe
Yeah.
this is cardiac. They gave some aspirin. If they give nitro, I'm walking out.
Yeah,
Nitro did not happen.
Okay,
well,
I'm
that's
good. I could stay seated in my chair then.
Seated in your
Like
chair.
pressor,
So-
I don't know if I would go to the presser on that. This is the one I might just wait and give it to El Doctor.
I think
To
I
your
think
question, no pressures were not given.
I think at this point,
yeah.
if I was in this seat, right, looking at this lady, right, if I saw after giving all this fluid, right, and then I see another decrease in pressure or I see a decline in status, I'm giving a presser.
Yeah, but we've
I
been
think
seeing
you'd-
everything trending up. Her
right.
pressure's trending up.
I think you'd have
and
to
it's only
see
after
that
800.
change.
So I mean, we're not even at our 2-liter protocol, where we like to flood people.
Right.
So we're just we're not at the biblical flood stage yet. We're just at like minimal flooding. So
I like these role reversals we're playing tonight, Gerard, because you typically are the one that's like, well, why did they start the pressure already? And I'm like, well, let's hold off on it. They've gotten a 50 mLs of fluid in. So,
Now, I think if this were me and I still had dopamine, I might go with dopamine.
I'm not smart enough for dopamine.
Get out your clock.
I freely admit it.
I mean,
I would look at my bag and go, yeah, it's in there. Okay.
Because the norepi, it doesn't have, it's it doesn't have the tropophobic effects you really want, but
Tropophobic? You mean it's afraid of tropos?
you got that chronotropic effect, and
There you go. Inotropic.
Didn't I just do a Facebook post on that?
Trope effects.
Yes.
I mean, it's just, norepi.
It does things.
Norepi doesn't.
Norepi doesn't affect the heart
Right.
itself,
squeezes
where
it just
dopamine
squeezes the
will
vessels.
affect the heart muscle as
Right, so
well as
you'll get a little-
as well as the
you'll-
vasculature.
You'll get some increased cardiac output out of
Right.
the whole deal, along with the depressing effect.
Right. I agree. I think dopamine in this
that'd be
case
nice.
would be nice.
Yeah.
Again, I'm with Gerardo. I'm not smart enough to give it. I'd call my wife and be like, "What do you want me to do? You're the only one that I know that carries dopamine."
400. If it comes in the pre-mixed pack of 400 or 250.
Yeah, see, you're old enough to know when you used it, because that was the only thing you had.
Yep.
So,
1600 milligrams.
all right,
so-
I'm gonna be quiet, which is hard for me.
Yeah, that is new.
I know,
Sorry.
right?
So if we just had things in the back like, oh, I don't know, checklists, where you could flip it open and go, oh, look, here's
Yeah,
what I need
list.
to do to get this.
Check.
What was that?
A
It's
list.
a list
You can check.
that you check. Exactly. It's like having a jump to conclusions, Matt.
There you go.
So continue.
So they continue with this patient. At the door at the hospital before they hop out, the last
She codes. Oh,
No,
okay.
no. Vital signs are 72/38,
Same.
pulse of 52,
Same.
end tidal 35,
Good.
12 leads unchanged.
Count it.
And they hop out. They go meet the doc. Say, "Here you go, doc. Here you go." They're met by the team in the ER.
And as I walk out, I go, Kobe.
So that's your patient. So what do we think? I do have an outcome for this patient. If you guys want to,
Thank
So
Jesus.
what do I think? I think that, yeah, man, I don't think I would have done anything different. It doesn't sound like anything different should have been done. Except the only thing and it's just, again, it's I might do it, not do it. I wasn't there. Is hold on to the aspirin. Beyond that, fluids. It's just so fucking weird. I'm sorry. This woman, and
weird.
yeah. Well, I almost said another word, but I was like, yeah, it's so weird, this bitch. But my bad. But
she's drawing them in.
right.
It's a
You see this-
miracle
you
Tammy's
see this
going to
bitch?
marry you.
I mean, your mother.
Like,
So, yeah.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I was done. I mean, like, honestly, I just that was like.
I think like
I think some airway work by the EMTs would have been prudent. Would it have made a difference? There was never seemed to be any oxygenation issue.
right.
Which again, you're ashen in color. Like everything about your skin is telling me like that should not be your SpO2. That should not be your mental status. You shouldn't be able to talk to me. You know, that should not be your blood glucose. But yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Like you sent me the 12 lead of this patient. I looked at it and I was like, yeah. I was like, I would probably call this exactly what it was. You know, like what this paramedic called it as. I see elevations, I see some depressions. You know, sometimes in this business, we do stuff and we have absolutely no idea what we're doing. Like, we just follow, hey, I see some symptoms. This is what we're supposed to do when we see these symptoms, and let's go for it. And we have no idea what the underlying cause is. And sometimes that's okay. You know?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes that's the best possible information that we have, and that's what we're going to do. I think they failed in the airway when they were unresponsive. And I think maybe they failed a little bit where they could have gotten off scene a little bit faster. But other than that, I don't disagree where the medic went with this call. You know?
It seemed pretty cut and dry.
I mean, we're going to be totally wrong, I'm sure, because if it's a Patreon level call, I'm waiting for the UTI right now. Just give it to me. They were constipated with a pink dildo.
Did we go fully trauma naked with her?
Not fully. Obviously underwear stayed on, but
See, that's where it was.
Yep.
The wet bandage.
Wet bandage.
We missed it.
A small little bullet hole right here.
Yep, there was a wet bandage.
The golden BB was there. There it was.
That's it. We missed it.
I mean,
That's why you always go trauma naked.
Yep.
You
How
never
else
go
are you
for
supposed to find the giant pink dildo?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yep.
So
I'm not even gonna say it.
somebody may have guessed it already.
Okay.
Somebody guessed it. We'll see.
Check the chat. What's all right? Before we do this, what is everybody's field diagnosis right now?
So I've been measuring the chat since we started. Lots of cardiac. Most of the chat is going with cardiac. No one has said something other than cardiac. The only thing that was questioned that we didn't even bring up, and I waited for this to see if, Maha or you, Gerard, said this, was WW2 Girl said, what were the pupils like?
Ooh, very nice.
And
I kind of feel shitty. I don't have a name. Anyway, go ahead.
Never mentioned.
Never
Like
mentioned.
WW2 Girl asked the Maha, and by the way, Gerard. I'm like, oh, I'm not part of the cool kids club, but anyway.
Well,
Pretty soon, we can almost call you a doctor pretty soon. The way you're going.
oh, there you go. Soon I'll be able to.
Dr. Beeper.
Yeah, cardiac dehydration, cardiac combo. I think a lot of it is going with cardiac something. So,
Drumroll.
Hold on. Let me see what I got for you.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
That's what she. That's what she codes.
So the patient was quickly transferred out of the PCI center.
Okay.
To where?
Sent to the trauma center.
Get the fuck out of it. I was right. It was the Chernobyl fucking pins?
Because the patient was diagnosed with a 3.7 millimeter descending aortic aneurysm.
I knew it.
She was admitted for vascular surgery.
Wait, 3.7.
3.7 millimeter. Yep.
Oh, millimeter. Okay. Whew. I was like, 3.7 centimeter.
She
Fuck, I'm in
did.
trouble.
Like, you're speaking to a ghost.
Right?
She got the surgery she needed.
See, that's what it was screaming to me this whole time. That's why I was like, I might not have given that aspirin if I was there.
She remained hemodynamically stable.
Yeah.
And last I knew, when I talked to this medic, she was a walkie-talkie out of the hospital with new medications and all the good
Excellent.
stuff.
Outstanding. So here we go. Let's go back to the presser. Probably a good thing we didn't get that BP up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
If we'd have given that presser,
Bye-bye.
Bye, love.
So,
yeah,
because, like, you know, in EMT and paramedic class, we are taught a very specific set of symptoms for aneurysms. Especially,
right, that's why I asked about the pain.
Right,
yeah.
especially abdominal ones, right? And if you don't see that, you're like, oh, it's not that. Right? Oh, if they don't have abdominal pain, oh, blah, 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 blah. Nope. Write it right off, right? Here's a prime example. And again, we don't know how much the ETOH factored into it, right?
Right, I was going to say, this is the one that's confusing. It confuses me because when I see skin that color and there's nothing open and there's no trauma, my first thought is that. Because unless they spontaneously burst their fucking spleen, how else are you going to get that ashen without just like a massive MI where you're not talking to me?
Right.
You know what I mean? Or you're just in massive quantities of pain.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
and having that diastolic so low.
Oh, low. Yeah.
Also makes sense if you are bleeding and losing your resting volume.
Right. Did we ever check the other arm? No, we didn't, did we?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Was ever mentioned? No, it was always one arm.
Just the one arm, yeah. See, and that's just it. When I look at somebody and there's no other rhyme or reason as to why they are that color. And we're not talking pale, we're not talking the diaphoretic. No, we're talking the color of your grandfather's bottom of his fucking ashtray. All right, after he puts his more cigarettes out in them.
Yummy.
All right. That white gray. I mean, it's the sign
looks
of
like death.
Of a dead body. You know what I mean? It's right. That's a dead person. They just haven't laid down yet. So when I see that and there's no other rhyme or reason for why they should be that way, that is my initial go-to is I could be dealing with a AAA here. Mm-hmm. Or something's dissecting or whatever. That's immediately why first question is, pain. Okay, so now ETOH on board. Yeah, maybe she's not feeling a fucking thing because she's just, living the dream. But everything else was kind of screaming that. And yeah, I mean, like for me personally, that probably would have guided me away from giving anything aspirin because you're looking at a perfusion issue right in your face. It's telling you, hey, I'm not being perfused. I'm the skin, and I always get perfused.
Right, but
until I'm not.
Right, but think about this too, right? So this is also something that I'm intrigued. I really wish we knew what that blood pressure med was. As you said, I wonder if it was a beta blocker or something like that, because typically you're not like a AAA or any type of, aortic aneurysm, right?
Yeah.
Is not going to cause bradycardia because the heart itself is not damaged. Right. So again, now you have an oxygenation issue, I'm assuming, right? Mm-hmm. You would have to think for those EKG changes, right? Again, because the aorta is not going to cause electrical changes in the heart muscle. You have to be thinking that there is a blockage of oxygen getting to the heart muscle. The only without an actual blockage, like a plaque blockage, it has to be a return issue. There's not enough preload getting to the heart and getting into the coronary arteries, right? Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't have enough oxygenation, which is crazy because now you look at the SpO2, right? The SpO2 is in the 94, 95 this entire call. Well,
what finger was that on?
It doesn't matter. Think about it this way, right? Like, this is what I immediately think of. If you lose 3/4 of your blood volume, but that last quarter is saturated 100%, what is your sat going to be? 100%.
Yeah, it's going to be 100%. Right, exactly.
If she's bleeding out and losing her, her volume, what's left is going to be 94%, but she's really at 70.
And that's just it. This is what was screaming the whole time at me is I'm looking at everything I'm listening to, and I'm like, this is volume depletion. There's nothing in the pipe.
Right.
There's something going on where she's bleeding out somewhere. That's why I was kind of making the joke about the fucking, the Chernobyl pins. But that's what was in my head was we've got to be bleeding somewhere. Because, the cardiac is the way it is because it's not getting what it needs because it's not making the full trip. It's getting to a certain point and going, bye. I'm going to go out this little hole here and see ya.
Yep. Yeah. And I think, it's one of those, like, we think what we try and, put it into a shock category, right? Multiple times in the chat, some people put in cardiogenic shock, right? This is cardiogenic shock, just not on the pump end, right? This is that pipes and, stuff in the pipes or the pump itself, right? And here we have a problem with the actual pipe. So now what's it doing? The heart's failing. So this is definitely one that makes you think. Absolutely.
And this is also one. Let's go to a little higher level of thinking, and not even talking about treatment or anything like that. I'm thinking, all you motherfuckers out there, and you know who you are, who would have said, "Oh, she doesn't want to go."
BLS.
Okay, I'll either I'm going to send it BLS, or I'll give it the good college try. Are you sure you don't want to go? Okay, you understand all these things I just read to you? Yep. Okay, here, sign here. You just fucking killed somebody.
Or what about the even
not
worse?
That you'd lose your job over it, but just
no, absolutely
you have to live with it.
What about the even worse one of she's drunk, she's at a festival, I don't want to be here. She fell, she passed out, she's too drunk. Yeah, this is just BLS.
Right. It's heat, it's hot out, that's why she's white, she's a little heat exhaustion, there you go, off you go.
Yep.
I got other things I got to do.
How many people would do that? So freaking many. Unfreaking real. But guys,
so think about that, and now think about, hey, guess what? How would you like to have that phone call later? It goes, hey, that patient you turfed in, or you just fucking disregarded or let her sign off? Yeah, she died.
Oh,
yeah. Turns out she had a AAA, exploded and she bled out inside her chest. But you had a good day, didn't you?
Yeah, and they would be like, oh. Well, that sucks. Yeah. And then they would keep playing Call
of
Duty.
You could have stopped it, but...
Not at all. So we just want to throw out this awesome compliment from Jesse.
So she did live, though, real quick. Sorry about that. Real quick, she lived?
Yep. She's talking out of the hospital.
Cool.
Woo! We'll throw in a Ric Flair for that one. But Jesse throws out a really awesome compliment for you two. Definitely not talking about me here. You guys are dropping science here. Really good content. So thank you again.
Oh,
cool. That's awesome. So
me, I make fart jokes and talk about truck nuts.
It's okay. Science.
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 So, just gonna throw this out there that
fake news.
An aneurysm is one of those little STEMI mimics out there.
Yes. There you go. So so when you have a patient that looks that color, and let's say you are one of these transfer medics, or EMTs, and the hospital goes, oh, we're just sending them over for evaluation, and here they are, and they have all that presentation, and they go, oh, it's a STEMI mimic, and you go, oh, Really?
They tell you, oh, it's an end STEMI.
Really?
NSTEMI. I'm sorry. Yes, the infamous NSTEMI. It's more than famous. Yeah.
Damn, we
It's
could have used
infamous.
Foster twice today because we really.
Really.
Damn it!
Just put your phone up to him, hit record, and just say it.
I know.
Thank you.
I really,
Done.
I, you know what? I will make that my mission between now and them. Then,
Yeah.
damn it,
And if he ever did come on,
he would never.
I wonder if you ever did manage to talk your loving father-in-law.
I would have to
grace
get
us
him
with his
drunk
presence
and high to
and
come
his
on.
and his knowledge. If he would please come on this show. If you were to really him with his own really, that would be like where the whole universe would just like it would expand infinitesimally and just explode.
It probably would.
You know, boom, done.
Oh my god, that would be so freaking hilarious.
You know, it's like looking at yourself in a camera in a mirror.
So, anything else that you guys want to add? I think we've dissected this one pretty good. Maha, it is always a pleasure.
A truly great job.
The best job ever. It was the greatest job.
Time to nut up or shut up.
Oh man! So we're gonna be transitioning here into the end of tour show. Give us 5 minutes, we'll be back. But again, thank you everyone who joined us here on the podcast. It is amazing that you guys, keep supporting us. We're fastly approaching 100 episodes on this show, and it is just ungodly that we've been doing this almost 3 years now. So again, stay safe, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you back shortly.
Donuts.
Inconceivable!
Hit the shitter quick. Right back.
Ooh, he's gonna shit.
Yeah, lovely.
All right.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you want more information on the podcast or to send us a call review, please visit medicmaterials.com/podcast. To learn more about earning continuing education credit from listening to this episode or others, check out Medic Materials CMEacademy.thinkific.com. We appreciate your continued dedication towards EMS education and helping us advance the field. See you next time.